A combat expert shares how to play smarter and not harder in Love and Deepspace, and I'm about to share her top tips right here with you in this particular video. Welcome back, my fellow flowers or beach blossoms of Linkon. In this particular video, I would like to highlight a very critical and super helpful sweetheart angel of the community, especially in the combat community or overall community of Love and Deepspace in general, the lovely Duchess_Arya. Quick disclaimer that I will be, of course, posting the links, direct links to her Reddit account /posts in the description box below. So if you would like to read more of her posts or this post in general in more detail, please do check it out, check her posts out. Please support her, give her a bunch of love, share all that fun stuff with your friends who need help with any guides related to combat in Love and Deepspace. She is super smart when it comes to obviously making these guides, and she is, I would say, a veteran player because she has been here since launch, so she knows her stuff. Okay, so she will tell you exactly how it is and what is her credibility. So she has consistently got more than 12, maybe now even more than 15 consecutive 36 out of 36 badges in senior hunter contests. So she knows her stuff. She also has 3 different accounts. On her first account, it's a pay-to-play account. So she calls herself a fat tuna harem main, meaning she pulls for every single card. I don't know if she keeps it at R0 or R1, but she obtains every single card in the game for every single guy on her paid account, okay, on her pay-to-play account. Her second account is 100% free to play, and she only uses that second account to roll or pull for myth banners. Her diamonds on that account only go to myth banners and nothing else. And finally, her third account is a free-to-play, play-for-fun account where she favors one love interest and rolls for his myths and occasional banners of him. So she has chosen Xavier as her solo main free-to-play, play-for-fun as her third account. So she will give you stats and all of the tea and all of the deets and details on how to effectively farm diamonds and how to effectively plan your pulls with these 3 different types of play styles in mind. Okay, so honestly, whenever I read her posts, it literally rewires my brain chemistry on when it comes to approaching this game and how to play Love and Deepspace a lot more efficiently. So trust me, if you are looking for a way to really change the way you play, because maybe you're starting to feel overwhelmed and you just want to play more efficiently and just don't know how to do that, this post in particular, I would hope, is very helpful to you. I know it was helpful for me. So let us dive in and get into it, shall we? Her post reads, if you are free to play, you can only focus on one ally or love interest and only roll for him. This blatant heresy should not be allowed to fester on our holy land. In all seriousness, I see a lot of free-to-play players being told that they can only afford to roll for one love interest to play this game. But in many situations, this is just quite frankly not true. In fact, the only situation where this is sound advice is when you are only genuinely interested in just one love interest and only interested in increasing his affinity to as high as possible. Brackets, but if that was the case, then this advice would be redundant from the start. If you are combat-oriented, myth pairs unlock myth companions, which is crucial for effectively farming the senior hunter contest and climbing orbit trials, but in brackets, clearing orbit trials is a expensive or whales game essentially. My 100% free-to-play account, which I made in February last year of 2024, only uses diamonds on myth banners. It currently has 7 36 out of 36 senior hunter contest star clears. Oh, by the way, just a little side note, this post that she made was 3 months old. So she made this post 3 months ago. Anyway, using only standard lunar cards, including 4 stars and 1 sad 3-star card. The last 5 36 out of 36 were also earned back to back, so I'm super excited to see if my F2P account is now strong enough to farm 36-star badges every season going forward. I have not yet seen a single solo ally only free-to-play account with 36 senior hunter contest clears. Now, of course, that last point can be subject for debate. So I'm sure there might be a combat expert that might have made this possible, and she does do a friendly, discussion with some of the people that, pointed that out in her post below, which you can check out in more detail later on. Next up, if you are lore-oriented, myth pairs will by far give you the best value for story lore of any of the SSR or 5-star cards. Not only is the story longer, but they are also more important to the characters than limited lunar fluff cards. In bracket, think main plot versus filler episodes. Next up, very important, if you are just overall value oriented, and in terms of pure diamond to SSR ratios, no other banners guarantee you 2 limited SSRs in 150 wishes. So, myth cards are by far the best value limited cards in the game. Love and Deepspace is unique because it incorporates RPG battle elements as part of the core gameplay. And part of the gameplay will be gate kept behind myth cards. You literally do not get to play the game if you don't get the myth companion or don't have the myth companion. Brackets, Abyssal Chaos does not count, they are just elaborate trial runs. Meanwhile, all limited lunar cards can be enjoyed on YouTube. The only thing you are forsaking is the emotional attachment to collecting those cards. I repeat, meanwhile, all limited lunar cards can be enjoyed on YouTube. The only thing you are forsaking is emotional attachment to collecting those cards. I feel like that's very important for someone to keep reminding themselves as a free-to-play or like low spender. That sentence or phrase or whatever is so super important. And here is the worst or bracket best part. Even if you only focus on one love interest, you are still not guaranteed all of his cards if you are free to play. I repeat, even if you only focus on one love interest, you are still not guaranteed to get all his cards if you are 100% fully free to play. Now, this next part is what really rewired my brain chemistry, okay? These particular points which she discussed. Number one, what this means, emotionally, this game is extremely unfriendly to free to play, even if you only want to collect every card of just one love interest. Number two, rationally, it is completely doable as long as free-to-play players can commit to the belief that all lunar banners are fake. If you completely disregard lunar banners and just view or watch them as new YouTube movie releases, then a world of possibilities opens up. You can simply collect them in your YouTube playlist rather than in the game. Then, the only diamond burden you have is the myth cards of the love interest that you want. And that is a lot more manageable for free-to-play accounts that are committed to staying 100% free-to-play. Genuinely, this is the best advice I have ever seen from a combat player in Love and Deepspace. Seriously, like, I love Reddit and I'm so happy to be able to have stumbled upon her combat guides. And really, I literally sat down with myself one day and I was like, she has a great point. Like, she is super intelligent. Like, she's talking smart. Okay, she knows her stuff. She knows her combat. She knows her strategy, and she has the badges of Senior Hunter contest to prove her point. Literally, imagine if you are somebody who loves just like the heavy lore and just the combat. This is literally the smartest way to play the game, and being able to, virtually collect all the cards of the love interest that you like, whether that be a single solo guy or all of the guys, via a YouTube playlist on YouTube. That is the smartest thing to actually put out there, and that can literally reduce your emotional strain and everything completely if you want to choose to play smarter and not get stressed out about your diamond savings, because I do know that the diamond savings can start to, diamond sources in general will start to dry up after a few months of playing. So this is very sound advice that I think everyone should really take it to heart if you want to remain 100% free to play or as mostly a low spending player. So these are her recommendations essentially. She says, I ran 2 free-to-play accounts since February of 2024 last year. Based on my experience, here is how many diamonds a free-to-play account can reasonably farm and how many potential banners it can participate in without too much disappointment. My estimates are as conservative as possible to avoid as much delulu as possible. Number 1, in the first year, a free-to-play account can farm about 100k diamonds or 120k diamonds if you are good at farming the Senior Hunter contest. Brackets, this is the rough range I got from running 2 free-to-play accounts for 1 whole year. Number 2, roughly budget 20,000 diamonds for myth banners and 15k or 15,000 diamonds for lunar banners. She goes on to say, for harem and combat girlies looking to 36-36 Senior Hunter contest, Only use diamonds on limited myth banners. You can reasonably obtain 5 to 6 sets of limited myth pairs after just a year of play. Second point, for mostly harem but has a main love girlies, you can commit one limited lunar banner to your main man. In brackets, I recommend his birthday card and the rest to 4 to 5 limited myth pairs after 1 year of playing. For 2 to 3 love girlies, you can commit to 3 to 4 limited lunar banners and 2 to 3 limited myth banners. I love her sense of humor, by the way. For the blasphemous monogamists, meaning you only like one guy, you can commit to 4 to 5 limited lunar banners and 1 to 2 limited myth banners. A big note over here, so please kindly pay attention. If you are an Aurum Pass holder and a solo main, you have a good chance at getting all of his SSRs if you are a loyal monogamist. The game releases about 8 limited lunar cards per love interest per year. Aurum Pass gives you an extra 36,000 diamonds a year. So, having Aurum Pass and making 1 to 2 myth banner pulls and 8 limited lunar pulls a year to obtain all of his cards is completely doable. Brackets, unless the gacha gods just completely hate your guts in particular. But if you add the different promise passes on top of it, then you're pretty set. This is most likely a calculated decision on Paper Games' part. I highly agree. And because we know that myth banners will have annual reruns, but we don't know if and when lunar banners will have reruns, this is the only niche situation where I would recommend new solo collector mains to prioritize limited lunar cards over myth cards. So take that with a grain of salt or a grain of sugar, okay? Now the last 3 parts of this post I will not be reading out loud. You can, read it for yourself because it's a bit lengthy and goes into detail about solo main girls wanting to farm senior hunter contests. But essentially, the lovely Duchess advises that your average card level should be 60 to 70 with the correct protocors at level +9 or +12. So this way you can expect to consistently get all the diamonds from Senior Hunter contest with 33 out of 36 stars. That is essentially her whole advice if you want to do this. So you can definitely pause to read this in greater detail. Oh, here this is a bit short, so I can read this. My other free-to-play account, that is the free-to-play Play for Fun account, where she mains Xavier on that third one, follows this method and has obtained 336 badges so far. Because it is lacking many limited myth cards and will only lack more in the future, it cannot compete at all with my free-to-play account that only rolls for myths. But it can still consistently farm all the diamonds from Senior Hunter contest. And finally, last but not least, she says if you are a free-to-play player who wants to do Senior Hunter contest with only one love interest, here are some realistic expectations. So you can pause to read this at your leisure. So in conclusion, down with monogamy and harem is the way, amen. This is what she means to say if you want to reap the benefits of combat, especially when it comes to the most renewable sources of diamonds currently in game, which is the Senior Hunter contest. You have to your main aim should be to get all of the limited myths or all the myth cards of each of the love interests to maximize the diamond rewards from this avenue in the game. So hopefully this was really helpful. Do go and support her on her Reddit and everything. She does have a YouTube channel as well, I believe, where she posts her battle, like different battles and stuff with different companions. So you can check that out as well. And yes, at Gamescom, Love and Deepspace won the best mobile game of 2025. Now, while I do have very, conflicting feelings, I will admit I am somewhat feeling a very deep sense of pride because finally a games made by women for women got recognized, and I take this as a huge win for the developers of the game. That is the artists, like the animators, the voice actors, the motion capture, actors, the music composers, all of the people behind the creative team. They are the ones that deserve this win. So I am looking at this as a 100% win for their creative developmental team, not for the disgusting and questionable, corporate or marketing-esque side of the team. That is not what I'm thinking about, okay? And hopefully with this win, a lot more people, whether they are from AAA studios or they are solo or, independent developers or indie companies, they will see how much of a market and demand is there for women-centric games, especially for games essentially catered to the female gaze, okay? How profitable it can actually be, especially an otome game where romance is a heavy factor. Cheers to more Otome games like this in the future. Until next time, my flowers of Linkon, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.
I was worried that I'd wake you. Fortunately, we woke up at approximately the same time.